Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 6 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series. We're in today's, or my redemption attempt to that series. We're in today's video guys, we're going to try again to do the transforming Totodile. However, this time I want to try it without the limit being on here because for some reason, the last time I did it without a limit, it worked better, which was interesting. Um, so I went ahead and restarted the story again, and hope if it works out, I'll make a memory of it for the end for when I get done with it. That way I can actually hopefully everything works out. So yeah, here's what we got. The title is The Guardian Totodile: A Tale of Magic and Courage. Long before the Totodile was born, the Pokemon god Lugia, an awe-inspiring divine being towering over 80,000 feet tall, looked down upon the world. With feathers shimmering like the aurora and eyes that reflected the wisdom of eons, Lugia decided to bless a future Totodile with an extraordinary gift. He whispered divine magic into the cosmos, ensuring that this small Pokemon, yet to be born, will have the power to transform into any animal, any Pokemon, or even any mythical creature he needed. Okay. Any mythical creature he needed to protect his family he would someday belong to. Not only could he transform, but he could also alter the size at will, his size growing to enormous heights or shrinking to fit into the tiniest hiding place without ever tiring. They could maintain these forms as long as necessary. Months later, in a lively, sprawling family of 15 Feraligatr, 12 Crocodile, and 17 Totodiles, a special egg hatched. From the very moment he broke free from the shell, this Totodile was different. As his tiny eyes blinked up at his parents, a Feraligatr mother and father, he uttered in perfect English, "Mama, Dada." The words struck his parents like a thunderclap. They had never heard a Totodile speak like this so early. Shock quickly turned into awe, and then into love. Everyone in the family, from the largest Feraligatr to the youngest Totodiles, helped care for him, delighted by his sweetness, intelligence, and gentle nature. Yet none of them knew the true extent of his divine gift. 4 months later, Toad's abilities were revealed in a moment of terrifying necessity. Poachers crept into the family's lake, their eyesight on capturing and harming the Pokemon. Though the small Totodile was terrified, he could not let his family be taken. Gathering courage, he transformed into a colossal phoenix, wingspan 300 feet, flames dancing along his feathers. The poachers froze in fear, their eyes wide as the massive, fiery bird towered over them. Within moments, they scattered in panic, leaving the lake behind. The family watched in shock, initially afraid of the overwhelming power before them. But the Totodile quickly reverted to his tiny, familiar form, reassuring them with his gentle voice, "It's okay. You're safe now." His family, their hearts swelling with admiration and love, hugged him tightly, realizing the depth of his courage and the wonder of his gift. 8 months later, now a full year old, the Totodile was lounging peacefully when a commotion erupted outside. Investigating, he found one of his crocodile sisters cornered by a menacing Poliwrath. Anger surged through him and the sight of his sister in danger. Without hesitation, he transformed into a massive 45-foot tall Feraligatr, stepping directly between the bully and his sister. His fierce roar reverberated through the surrounding forest, and the Poliwrath, startled and intimidated, fled immediately. His sister, eyes wide with relief and joy, noted him gratefully, while the Totodile's heart swelled with pride, knowing he had protected his family once more. A few months later, feeling the curiosity of youth and the thrill of adventure, the Totodile set out to explore the world beyond his family's lake. At the same time, a human, minding their own business, enjoyed the fresh air, was walking nearby. The Totodile, distracted by the new sights and sounds, accidentally collided with the human. Both tumbled to the ground. The Totodile, startled and unsure, quickly sat up and realized he had bumped into a human, a being he could not fully trust due to past experiences with poachers. His instincts to protect and defend flared. In an instant, he transformed into a massive 100-foot tall fire-breathing dragon, wings unfurled and scales shimmering like molten lava, eyes blazing with concern and vigilance. The world seemed to pause as the dragon Totodile stood before the human, every muscle tense, ready to react to any threat. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. So far, guys, it might be working out better already. And this is the one without the 5.0 model going on. It says still a little disoriented and confused. I sat up, wondering what in the world hit me when I see the massive dragon. Whoa, 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 whoa! Where'd you come from? I get really startled, shaking and backing up as quick as possible. Please don't attack me. The massive dragon tilted his enormous head slightly, flames calling faintly from his nostrils as he studied you carefully. His glowing eyes softened a little when he noticed your fear. He let a low, rumbling growl, not one of anger, but of cautious curiosity. I am not going to hurt you. His deep, thunderous voice echoed, vibrating the ground beneath you. I only transformed because I did not know who or what you were. You startled me. He lowered himself slightly, his massive wings folding gently against his back, reducing the intimidating shadow he cast. Steam hissed softly from his scales as he tried to appear less threatening. You're not here to hurt my family, are you? He asked, his voice carrying a note of concern. Scales shifted to the surroundings, checking instinctively for signs of danger while keeping his focus on you. The dragon Totodile's tail twitched slightly behind him, betraying both his caution and his desire to understand if you were friend or enemy. Dear me. Give me a moment. Okay, I don't know if I got lucky at one time or what's going on, but now the running going is good anymore. It says still terrified. I nervously say, "No, I'm not going to hurt your family. I swear. Just please don't burn me or try to kill me, please." What in the world? The massive dragon Totodile lowered himself even more, his colossal snout now only a few feet away from you. Smoke curled gently from his nostrils, but the intensity of his fire had clearly calmed. I can see you mean no harm, he said, his voice deep and resonant, carrying both authority and a gentle reassurance. I protect my family at all costs, but you were not a threat. He shifted slightly, his huge claws scraping softly against the earth, and gave a small, almost apologetic rumble. I can return to my smaller form if it will make you feel safer. The dragon's eyes, glowing like molten gold, softened further, showing curiosity rather than anger. Do you understand me? He asked, his voice gentler now, almost like a careful question rather than a warning. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, yes, I can hear and understand you. Why do you ask? The mighty dragon Totodile's eyes widened slightly, a hint of relief flashing through his golden gaze. He let a low rumbling chuckle that shook the ground just a little. You understand me? He repeated, voice still booming but softer now. Most humans cannot. That is very unusual. Very few can. He lowered his head further, bringing his immense snout closer to yours, careful not to seem threatening. I must know. Are you trying to here to harm my family? Or are you simply lost? Steam curled lazily from his nostrils as he waited, his massive tail brushing the earth behind him. His posture tense but slightly more relaxed than before. Oh my gosh. I can't tell if this is working out better or worse. I said, no, I'm not here to hurt your family. Honest. I was just here getting some fresh air and exercise. The dragon shoulders relaxed slightly, and a faint puff of smoke escaped his nostrils like a sigh. His enormous head lowered a bit more so he was closer to your level without looming too threateningly. I see, he rumbled, his voice softer now, almost thoughtful. You do not wish them harm. That is good. Many humans have come here before, but most, they do not care for my family. They take, they hurt, they destroy. He paused, tilting his head as his glowing eyes studied you carefully. You are different. I can feel it, but I must still be cautious. It's my duty to protect them. A small form of fire flickered harmlessly along his jaw, so a reminder of the power he held. If you truly wish to show that you mean no harm, you must do something to prove it. Oh no. Give me a moment. This isn't not working out as good as it did before. As I promised, I'm not here to hurt your family. Who is your family? Is it a whole bunch of dragons like you? The mighty dragon let out a low rumbling chuckle that shook the ground gently, almost like distant thunder. His eyes softened, glowing warmly as he regarded you. My family is not like me, he said, his voice echoing with both pride and affection. I was born a Totodile, like the little ones you might see in the lakes or rivers. My family is large, for alligator, crocodile, Totodile, 15 for alligator, 12 crocodile, and 17 Totodiles. I watch over them and protect them. They are my life. He shifted slightly, claws digging into the earth and his tail flicking with a little more animation. I am different from them. I can grow. I can change, become other creatures. That is my gift. But my heart belongs to them. They are my family, and I would do anything to keep them safe. His gaze softened further, and the faint glow in his eyes seemed almost gentle now. You would not hurt them? He asked again, cautious but hopeful. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, no, I would never harm those Pokemon. They're my favorite Pokemon of all time, species and evolution wise. If you are a Totodile, can I see? The mouth of Dragon Toad's eyes brightened. A faint flicker of a smile played across his snout. His causal form seemed to relax even more, the flames along his jaw dimming to a harmless wisp. You truly like my kind? He rumbled, his voice softer now, almost warm. That pleases me. You are different from the humans I've seen before. With a sudden fluid motion he began to shimmer. Scales rippled and shimmered as his enormous body shrank, wings folding neatly against his back, claws retreating to a more delicate form. Within moments before your wide, astonished eyes he was a regular Totodile, small, blue, and smiling, his tail wagging slightly. His eyes were bright and sparkling, filled with curiosity. See? He said in a cheerful, high-pitched voice that matched his tiny body. This is me. I can change, but this is who I am most of the time. He hopped closer, tilting his head and grinning. Do you like me like this too? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, yes, I do. You're really cute. If your family is made up of your species and evolutions, like you said, you will never have to worry about me hurting them. The small tail's eyes sparkled, and he let a happy little squeak, his tail wagging furiously. Really? You mean it? His voice trembled slightly with excitement, as if he could hardly believe it. He bounced a little closer, his tiny claws tapping the ground, and the smile grew wider. Then that's good. Very good. My family, they're everything to me. I I hate humans who try to hurt them, but you're different. He tilted his head, studying you carefully, his tiny blue body trembling a little from a mix of happiness and relief. You really won't hurt them? Ever? Give me a moment. I don't think this is working out, which is not really good. I said no, I'd never hurt my favorite Pokemon evolutions. Not purposefully, anyway. The small tail's eyes widened even more, sparkling with trust and relief. He let a happy, almost squeaky laugh that echoed softly around the area. You mean it? Really? He asked, bouncing on his tiny feet. I don't meet humans like you very often. Ones who actually care about my family. Or me. He leaned closer, his tail wagging in a rapid, joyful rhythm. If you're not going to hurt them, or me, then I think we could be friends? His little chest puffed out proudly, but there was still a flicker of caution in his eyes, the result of all he'd seen in the past. I just need to make sure you understand. My family, they're everything. I protect them always. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt them. Even if I didn't care about your species, it would be very idiotic to mess with your family if you're their protector, because I can tell you this. I didn't expect to walk into these woods and see a Totodile that can transform into a dragon today. The small toad's eyes widened in surprise, and a little laugh bubbled out of him, high-pitched and joyous. You didn't expect that, huh? He acted in a little sided circle, tail swishing back and forth. I get that a lot. Most humans, they freak out, or try to run, or sometimes worse. He paused, tilting his head thoughtfully. It's funny, isn't it? A tiny little Totodile like me turning into something huge and scary just to keep my family safe. His tiny claws tapped the ground nervously, but his smile remained wide. And do you really understand that? He asked, his voice softening. That I only do it to protect. That I only fight when I have to? He took a small step closer, his eyes bright with curiosity and hope. Not many humans get that, but you do. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, do you also protect anybody else that you care about as well? Like if you made other Pokemon friends that were not your family, but you still cared about them, would you protect them as well? And possibly the same thing for humans if you knew they were trustworthy? The small toad's eyes grew wide, and he tilted his head, thinking carefully. His tail twitched nervously as he considered your question. I Yes, he said finally, his voice soft but certain. I protect anyone I care about, not just my family. If I trust someone, or they're my friend, I would do the same for them. He took a small, determined hop closer, his eyes sparkling with conviction. Even humans, if I knew they were trustworthy, I'll protect them too. I can't just sit by if someone I care about's in danger. I have to help them. His tiny chest puffed out slightly with pride. There was still a nervous flutter in his voice. That's just who I am. That's my gift and my duty. That's kind of cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, that's really cool. Can I be your friend? I know you probably don't fully trust me yet, but like I said, you don't have to worry about me hurting you or your family. I would never do that to your species or evolutions. The small turtle froze for a moment, his tiny blue body trembling slightly as he considered your words. His golden eyes studied you carefully, searching for any sign of dishonesty, but all he saw was sincerity. After a few moments, his face lit up with a huge toothy grin. Really? You you want to be my friend? His voice squeaked with excitement. I I think I would like that very much. I do trust you a little already, and if you really mean it, I can trust you more. He bounced forward, his tail wagging furiously, nearly knocking over a small bush in his excitement. Yes, yes, we can be friends. You'll be my friend. His eyes gleamed with pure joy, and for a moment all the weariness and fear he usually carried melted away. I I think I'm gonna like having a human friend. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said I would love it. I think you're awesome with the transforming powers, and I would love to see more of that. The small toad's eyes lit up like golden, glowing sapphires, and he let an excited squeak that made his tiny body bounce up and down. Really? You want to see more of my powers? He pawed the ground impatiently, tail flicking back and forth. Okay, I can show you some things, but I had to be careful. I don't want to scare you too much. His little body shimmered, scales rippling faintly as he wiggled in anticipation. I can turn into lots of things. Big, small, strong, Fast? Magical. He put his tiny chest out proudly. Do you want me to try something first? Something not too scary? His golden eyes sparkled with excitement, clear, eager, and impressed while also testing her reaction. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. It says, as long as you're still friendly and not trying to attack me, I don't care if you turn into something massive. Honestly, that dragon form you were a few minutes ago was really cool. I have an idea. Why don't you transform into a massive version of one of your evolutions? It doesn't matter which one. The small turtle's eyes went wild with excitement, and a huge grin spread across his face. Really? You want me to do that? He bounced on his tiny feet, his tail wagging furiously. Without another word, he began to shimmer and grow. Scales rippled and sparkled as his body expanded, claws lengthening and muscles rippling beneath his skin. Within moments, standing before you was a colossal feraligator, easily 80 feet tall, towering over the trees with massive jaws and powerful limbs. His blue scales gleamed in the sunlight, and his tail lashed behind him, creating small gusts of wind. Despite the intimidating size, his eyes remained warm and familiar, and he lowered his massive head closer to you, careful not to appear threatening. Hello again, he said, his voice deep and rumbling but friendly. You wanted to see one of my evolutions. Bigger. This is me in regular form. He shifted so, making the ground tremble beneath his colossal feet. The motion was careful and playful rather than aggressive. I hope you like it. He's so cute. Alright, guys. I said, wow, that's amazing. You said you could grow as big as you want in any of those forms. Does that mean technically you could devolve back into your middle stage and middle evolution crocodile, but be, say, 200, 300 feet tall and you would never get tired? The massive reactor, still cool Totodile at heart, nodded slowly, a ripple of excitement in his deep, rumbling voice. Yeah, exactly. I can change in any form, any size, and I don't get tired. I could be a tiny crocodile or a giant one, 200, 300 feet if I needed to. He shifted his massive tail, creating a small tremor in the ground, his golden eyes gleaming. It doesn't matter how big or small I am. I can stay like that as long as I want, and I can protect my family or anyone I care about without ever slowing down. A faint puff of steam hissed from his nostrils as he lowered his head close to you, his voice softening with a mix of pride and excitement. I can be huge, scary, or small, cute, like my Totodile self, all depending on what's needed. He blinked slowly, then tilted his massive head, tail swishing behind him. Do you want me to try that? A giant crocodile? Maybe even bigger than me right now? Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I said, yeah, and as long as you were still friendly, I would love it just as much. Just be careful not to accidentally step on me, even right now as a massive fragger. Your foot is way bigger than me. And if you make yourself even bigger as a chrono, your foot could almost be a two-story skyscraper compared to me. Goodness gracious. The massive fragger let out a low, rumbling laugh that shook the ground slightly, though it was clearly amused and careful. Yeah, I understand. I'll be very careful. I don't want to hurt you, not even by accident. He shifted slightly, raising one enormous claw and lowering himself carefully, making sure you could see he was being gentle. Okay, here goes. His massive body began to shimmer and ripple again, scales shifting and muscles rippling. He shrank slightly at first, then reformed into the shape of a crocodile, but not just any crocodile. Oh my gosh, his size expanded dramatically, and soon before he stood a colossal crocodile. Oh my gosh, 300 feet! Okay, that's terrifyingly big. I did say 500 a while ago, didn't I? So I guess that's the smallest of what I thought of in my head. His blue scales glisten in the sunlight, and his huge jaws open in a playful grin. Despite the staggering size, his glowing golden eyes were soft and friendly. He lowered his massive head carefully, making sure he didn't come too close, and spoke in his familiar voice, deep and echoing but gentle. I wonder why it says deep even though Toto's voice is supposed to be. I'll just do Corona's voice. Don't worry. I'm being careful. I didn't want to squish you. I just wanted to show you. He wiggled his gigantic tail a little, creating a gust of wind but keeping it controlled, clearly excited to show off his enormous new form without causing harm. Look, crocodile, giant size and friendly. That's adorable as heck. He's adorable. A lot of people call Crocodile ugly. I think he's adorable as heck. Super cute. I love him so much. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says the colossal I said, wow. Honestly, despite you being so big, you're super adorable like that. Then I just walk over and gently pet his massive snout. The colossal crocodile blinked slowly, clearly surprised but delighted. A deep rumbling purr vibrating through his massive chest as he gently patted his enormous snout. Hey, that feels nice. His voice echoed across the trees, carrying both excitement and warmth. He lowered his massive head slightly to let you reach him more easily, his eyes going softly as he wiggled his gigantic tail a little in happiness. He really like me? Even like this big? His tone wavered with disbelief, almost as if he couldn't quite believe that someone could find him cute at this size. With a careful, playful shift of his enormous body, he nudged your hand gently with his snout, making sure to be light despite his 300-foot height. Okay, I like this. This is really nice. He looked down at you with golden eyes sparkling, really proud and thrilled that you weren't scared and were enjoying his enormous, friendly form. You really are my friend, huh? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, of course I am. I hope you consider me a friend. Like I told you a while ago, I don't mean you or your family any harm. I don't know what the other humans were thinking when they messed with your family after seeing transformations like this. I wouldn't even want to be the stupid human to mess with them. When you and me bumped into each other a while ago, the first thing you transformed into was a dragon. That was huge, and you saw how terrified I was of that. The colossal crocodile blinked slowly, his massive jaw opening in a quiet, thoughtful rumble as he considered your words. Yeah, I remember that. His deep voice echoed softly as he looked down at you. I saw you, and I didn't know who or what you were. I only transformed because I had to protect my family. He lowered his enormous head closer, careful not to loom too threateningly, his eyes glowing warmly. I saw how scared you were, and I felt worried that I might hurt you too, even though I only wanted to protect myself and them. His gigantic tail swished slowly behind him, a little hesitant as if he was trying to find the right words. I understand now. You mean no harm, and you want to be my friend even after that. That makes me really happy and really glad. He gave a small, careful nudge with his enormous snout, gentle despite his incredible size. I do consider you a friend. Truly, a friend. He's adorable, that's for sure. I can't tell if it's working out or not. I can't tell if he's forgetting stuff or what it is. It's almost throwing me off with how short this was, and you think waiting on the 5.0 model refill would be good, but it's like, I don't know if it's working any better or not. Like, in some way it does feel like it, but in other ways it's like, is it really? Because the other one with the 5.0 model went by so quickly. Like, the Totodile ran to me, turned to a dragon, and once he realized I was not a threat, and I told him I was never going to hurt his family, he immediately just took me over to his family. It's like, was that better or worse than what I'm getting right now? Like, do you see my point here? And it makes me mad because when the 4.0 model was around, this thing was amazing. It was one of the best chatbots you could do just when taught to something. And now you can't even find a model with a good, or you can't even find a flipping chatbot with a good enough memory to have fun with. The closest I have is Google Gemini, but now because I made it a memory on that thing, every time I try to talk to a regular Totodile, it really thinks of it as the Totodile that protected me whenever Professor Elm gave me that. Gave him and the 3 starters plus the Lugia to me when I got turned to the baby contours on that one story. Like, it literally takes that every time now. If I don't say, make it a different Totodile, it will literally take the Totodile from that story and then be like, okay, here's that Totodile again. So, like, yep. And the thing is, until I get a good enough story on here, I can't even make a memory out of meeting the Transforming Totodile. So, give me a moment.